Lesson 38, page 92, 93. Now we've done seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths. And remember that they are line to space for the even numbers, or space to line for the even numbered intervals. And they're line to line or space to space for the odd numbered intervals. So our seconds, fourths, sixths are all going to be from a line to a space note or from a space to a line note. And our odd numbers, our third, fifth, are going to be from a line to a line or from a space to a space. So what that means is the note will be on a line, the lower note will be on a line, the higher note will be on a space for even numbered intervals. And for odd numbered intervals, then both notes will be on a line or both notes will be on a space. So, measuring sevenths, we've done seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths. You just keep increasing that distance. Now there are 5 white notes. Now remember the previous lesson, we did the sixths going up and down. You do the same with fourths, seconds. So with sevenths, you have 5 notes. Anywhere I do that, it's going to be the same. So that's just our pattern. It's always the same. There's 5 white notes between the 7th, like this. Now, we've had songs that said, put your hands an octave lower or an octave higher. So the octave is an even interval. Oct is the prefix for 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's separated by 8 notes, but there's 6 notes in between them. But an octave is always going to be the same note. So C to C. 6 notes between them. G to G. 6 notes between it. B to B. 6 notes between it. F to F. 6 notes between it. A to A. 6 notes between it. E to E. 6 notes between it. So that formula checks out. So, doing the exercises, in the right hand you have a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, an octave. Now what you'll notice from your book says finger 1 and 2, finger 1 and 2 for the third, finger 1 and 3 for the fourth, 1 and 4 for the fifth, 1 and 5 for the sixth, 1 and 5 for the seventh, 1 and 5 for the octave. But it's also easy to do 1 and 2, 1 and 3 for the third, 1 and 4 for the fourth, 1 and 5 for the fifth, and then 1 and 5 for the sixth, 1 and 5 for the seventh, 1 and 5 for the octave. So you're using 5. Your pinky's doing a lot of work in the right hand. Now, the harmonic intervals, in your book it says to use 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, 1 and 5. But you could do 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, 1 and 5. Same with the left hand. 5 and 4, 5 and 3, 5 and 2, 5 and 1, 5 and 1, 5 and 1, 5 and 1. That's how I would do it. Your thumb is doing a lot of the moving. Now look at the harmonic intervals on the bottom. 5 and 4, 5 and 3, 5 and 2, 5 and 1, 5 and 1, 5 and 1, 5 and 1. So page 93 is writing sevenths and octaves. And you remember, line, line for odd numbered intervals, or space, space for odd numbered intervals. Line space or space line for even numbered intervals, 2, 4, 6, 8, So it says in each measure below, add a higher half note to make the indicated melodic interval. So it's not going to be directly above the note, it's going to be after, because you're giving the melodic interval. So, I'm going to give you all the answers. A second above C is D, so you have C, D. A third above C is E. A fourth above C is F. A fifth above C is G. A sixth above C is A. A seventh above C is B. And an octave above C is C. Same thing in the left hand. A second above C is D. A third above C is E. A fourth above C is F. A fifth above C is G. A sixth above C is A. A seventh above C is B. The octave above C is C. The bottom exercise, in each measure below, add a whole note directly above the given note to make the indicated harmonic interval. Well, a seventh above C is B. An octave above C is C. A seventh above D is C. An octave above D is D. A seventh above E is D. An octave above E is E. An octave above D is D. And an octave above C is C. Remember, octave means it's the same note. So left hand, bass clef, an octave above C is C. A seventh above C is B. A seventh above D is C. An octave above D is D. An octave above C is C. An octave above B is B. A seventh above C is B. And a seventh above D is C. So that is page 93. Well, let's add on to this lesson. Let's just keep going and do page 94 and 95 as well. So, Cafe Vienna, moderate waltz tempo. Now look at page 90, the Lone Star Waltz. You have ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Eighth, eighth, quarter, quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, quarter. Now look at Cafe Vienna. Eighth, eighth, quarter, quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, 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 quarter. So the beginning rhythm is the same, but different notes. So things to look for in Cafe Vienna on page 94. You have a crescendo from measure 1 to measure 4, going from piano to forte. You have mezzo forte at line 2. You have piano at line 3, crescendo to forte. You have mezzo forte at line 4. The last two measures have a ritardando, gradually slowing down, and there's pedal markings in the last measure, and a fermata. So lots of stuff to think about. So go ahead and practice it now, and I will play it. 1, 2, 3. Slight ritardando, get the pedal down, hold for longer than written. All right. Page 95, the Lullaby. It says Johannes Brahms. Brahms wrote the theme that we use as Lullaby. Starts with an incomplete measure. It starts 3 and 3/4 time means 3 beats per measure. So you're going to have 1, 2 as preparatory beats, and you start playing 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2. So, pause it, practice it, and I will play it. 1, 2. If you have any questions, let me know. Look back at page 92. 92, measuring the sevenths and octaves. 93, more of writing the sevenths and octaves. Here's the 2 songs we just did, Cafe Vienna and Lullaby, Johannes Brahms.